Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shabrak, thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shamar, thumb Bashim, Yahweh Shah to the sisters. I'm Priest and Officer Karan Yahweh, and welcome to another installment of Nothing New Under the Sun. Today, we're going to get into gentrification, right? Now, gentrification is basically the displacement of another people by another group of people and to change the dynamics of a city, town, country, you understand, state, or what have you, right? Now, blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans don't necessarily understand the concept of gentrification and how detrimental it is for our communities, right? When we allow these other nations to come into our communities go from being a metropolis for blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans to us living in the ghettos, to us being on reservations, you understand? To us being in poverty, right? To us being in bullet riddled communities that's infested with drug and crime, you understand? And so tonight we're gonna get into a couple of situations of our people um suffering from gentrification in these scriptures. You understand? Now, Black, Latino, and Native American leaders, right? They don't necessarily give a damn about Black people. Let's just keep it 100. You understand? They don't really care about what's going on in our communities because they don't speak up against gentrification. Back in the 50s, right? The 40s, the roaring 20s. You understand? Black people thrived in this country, right? You have places like Black Wall Street. You understand? They decimated a community of Black people and created Central Park in New York. You understand? And these were prominent places where our people thrived and was able to have a good life. You understand? Within our own communities and do for ourselves. But then when gentrification and integration happens to our people, then we end up in the projects, right? Then we end up in the slums. Then you got brothers and sisters that's turned to drugs and crime. You understand? And this is exactly what happened today, and it happened in the scriptures as well. You understand? So let's go to the book of Genesis, chapter 46. Right? Make sure you all like, share, subscribe, you know what I'm saying? Comment, all that good stuff, right? Let's go to the book of Genesis, chapter 46, and I'm going to start at verse 33. And it shall come to pass, like I'm starting at verse 31. And Joseph said unto his brethren and unto his father's house, I will go up and show Pharaoh and say unto him, my brethren and my father's house, which were in the land of Canaan, are come unto me. You understand? So this is when Joseph and all the patriarchs of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel were alive. You understand? And what is going on is Joseph had just saved Egypt from being destroyed, you know what I'm saying, with his wisdom. You understand that he was blessed with by the Lord. He saved Egypt and made Egypt the superpower of the world, right? So what happened was when Joseph became the second in charge of Pharaoh, mind you, before all of this happened, Joseph was in prison. You understand? Joseph was sold into Egypt as a slave, and he eventually went to prison because the Pharaoh's wife accused him of trying to have sex with her. You understand? But when Joseph was interpreting a couple of dudes' dreams while he was in prison, right? He eventually, I don't want to go get too long on the backstory of what's going on right now, but he eventually interpreted the Pharaoh's dream, and in turn, him interpreting Pharaoh's dream, he was actually able to use his smarts, right, to make Egypt a superpower and save Egypt from the famine that was going to come in the next couple of years. So anyway, after Joseph saves Egypt, you understand, and helped Egypt become the superpower of the world at that time, Joseph eventually, during this time where it was a famine, Joseph's brother, his brothers had to come down in Egypt to get corn and food for them to eat. You understand? Now Joseph instantly recognized his brothers. He already knew who they were. You understand? So what happened was, make a long story short, Joseph eventually reveals to his brothers, that he's Joseph, he's alive, he's doing well in Egypt. Go ahead and bring their father down and bring the family down so we can come live deliciously in Egypt. I saved Egypt. I got it going on down here. You understand? I'm second in charge. Y'all can come live down here in Egypt, and the Pharaoh is gonna bless us because I helped him save his land and make them the top nation on the planet at that time, right? So what was going on is when Joseph's brothers and his father come down, he shows his brothers and his father to Pharaoh. You understand? Like, this is my brother, these my brothers, this my pops. You understand? They coming down here to live in Egypt with your blessing, of course. Blase, blase, right? So verse 32. And the men are shepherds, for their trade had been to feed cattle, and they have brought their flocks and their herds and all that they have. You understand? Now, remember, earlier on in the book of Genesis, when Joseph was there, it's a scripture that says the Egyptians, they despised shepherds. They wouldn't even eat with Joseph because he was a shepherd. You understand? They was totally against that culture of being a herdsman, right? And Joseph understood that we're herdsmen, and y'all don't like us being herdsmen. Y'all don't resonate with that type of lifestyle, and y'all despise men for doing that. And Joseph understood that if this Pharaoh knows that we're all herdsmen, like this is what we do, then we'll be able to live in our own land, and we won't be able to be oppressed by y'all because y'all don't want to be around us any goddamn way. You understand? And Joseph understood this, right? Verse 33. And it shall come to pass when Pharaoh shall call you and say, what is your occupation? That ye shall say, thy servants' trade have been about cattle from our youth even unto now, both we and also our fathers, that ye may dwell in the land of Goshen, for every shepherd is an abomination unto the Egyptians. You understand? Now, Joseph understood for us to be separate, you understand, from these Egyptians, we have to tell them that we're herdsmen, you understand, and they're going to put us in a separate land from them. And in turn, we're not going to be oppressed by these Egyptians. You understand? In turn, we'll be able to live in perfect harmony with our own people versus an outside nation coming in to live in our quarters and them basically getting the upper hand on us and oppressing us and gentrifying our neighborhoods. You understand? Joseph had the key to not gentrify his people. You understand? He understood, okay, y'all don't deal with people that do this. Well, we do this and we're proud of doing this, and we like to keep our own culture. You understand? Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, our communities have been gentrified because we don't want to keep our culture. Our communities have been gentrified because Martin Luther King, right, aka Michael King, or Orgy Mike, what Captain Tazariak like to call him, right? He was in love with white women and envied his oppressor, the white man. He wanted to have sex with white women, you understand, be able to wear suits like his white counterpart, and be able to live exactly like a goddamn white man. And in turn, all your mom and pop stores in your neighborhoods have been shut down. There is no more 7th Street in West Oakland that thrived with black businesses up and down 7th Street. You understand? And many other major cities in this country, right? You got Detroit. You understand? You got New Orleans, right? You got the black sections of Miami, Opelika, Liberty City. You understand? North Philadelphia. All of these cities had places, right, that was prominent with black businesses. You understand? That black people can thrive and actually make money. You understand? In their community, right? Look at Harlem. Harlem has been gentrified like probably damn near more than any other city in the United States. You understand? Harlem was a black city at first. You understand? You had brothers and sisters in Harlem that ran the numbers. Like we invented the lottery. You understand? You got brothers and sisters in Harlem that used to be the street vendors, right? Brothers in Harlem used to be the predominant taxi cab drivers. You understand? But that's not the case no more because Christianity and wicked Negroes like Martin Luther King, you understand, wanted us to gentrify and integrate with the rest of these nations. And in turn, it decimated our communities. You understand? It took so much from black people in this country that we still live in the projects to this day, right? You got Whole Foods and Starbucks and all of these type of things in 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 um in Harlem. It's ridiculous. You understand? Our people used to buy our own clothes from our own people. Like back in the 20s and the 30s and the 40s and the 50s, black people wasn't walking around wearing Nikes. We wasn't wearing Adidas sweatsuits back then. You understand? You didn't wear Gucci and Louis Vuitton, and all of this type of nonsense. You understand? We bought our shoes from black men who actually knew how to make shoes. You understand? Our clothes, you understand? We bought this from our own people. You understand? Because there wasn't no gentrification. We didn't have no outsiders in our community. You understand? It wasn't no KFC back then, right? It wasn't no Popeyes chicken back then. If you wanted a taco, you understand? Your mama had to make you a taco for my Latin brothers and sisters. You understand? Right? If you wanted some fried chicken, you had to go to grandma's house to get some fried chicken. Now you got Taco Bell and KFC and Popeyes and Church's Chicken in our neighborhoods because our neighborhoods are gentrified and all of these other nations come to our neighborhoods and make millions of dollars off of us and we're poor. You understand? Gentrification makes blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans the poorest people on planet Earth. You understand? Because we so much of a skillful people, right? That these other nations understand that if I set up a business in their community, right, with how much they've been brainwashed to not use their skills, then I'm gonna make billions of dollars off these people because these people consume so goddamn much. You understand? And the reason why blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans have been destroyed and thinking that gentrification and integration is okay is because of your Christian church. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to Judges, the 6th chapter, right? Salakia. Not Judges, the 6th chapter. Let's go to Joshua, the 5th chapter. You understand? Once again, like, comment, share, subscribe. The water for y'all tuning in and helping to push this truth, right? This is the book of Joshua, chapter 5 and verse 13. And it came to pass when Joshua was by Jericho that he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there stood a man over against him with his sword drawn in his hand. And Joshua went unto him and said unto him, art thou for us or for our adversaries? You understand? So Joshua, he's on guard. He on shamar for the children of Israel. You understand? And when he sees this other man with a sword drawn in his hand, he like, are you for us or are you for our adversaries? Because he understood we don't need another nation to come in our homeland where we dwell at. You understand? To come oppress us. He understood like your Christian pastor is not the leader that Joshua was, right? T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar, you understand? Niggas like Steve Harvey, right? D.L. Hughley, these fake woke black men, you understand, that shit up here and tell you that black people need to come together and all of this nonsense. Meanwhile, they coming together with white people more than black people. You understand? They not speaking out against the atrocity that's being committed in our neighborhoods by these other nations. You understand? They'll tell you, oh, Why should we talk about Black Lives Matter when black people kill each other? Well, black people are killing each other because we're poor. We're killing each other in these neighborhoods because your slave master has done so much damage to our minds. You understand? From slavery. You understand? From Jim Crow laws. From every evil thing that he's done to us. From these black exploitation films. You understand? From this cocaine, this weed. You understand? This fentanyl epidemic. You understand? From everything that your slave master has done to us, we don't understand that the real reason why we dirt piss poor and we hate the people that live a couple blocks from where we live at. 63rd is into it with O Block, you understand? It's brothers from North Philly that's into it with brothers that live around the corner from them. You got Bloods and Crips fighting each other, GDs and BDs. All of this is because of gentrification. You understand? All of this is because our black leaders, you understand, don't understand that we supposed to take a stand against these other nations coming into our neighborhoods. We supposed to be on it like Joshua's on it. He seen this dude with this sword and was like, hey, who is you? Where you? Like, what are you coming over here for? Are you for us or are you for our adversaries? Like, do you want to help build up our nation? Or are you trying to come gentrify us to where we gonna be up under your foot eventually? This is what Joshua is essentially asking him. Like, bro, what is you doing over here? You understand? Like, is you one of us? Is you for our adversaries? Are you coming to bring a Chinese food restaurant in my neighborhood and reap the benefits off of my people eating your food? You understand? Are you coming to gentrify mom and pop restaurants and turning into KFC and Popeyes? Is this what you coming into my neighborhood for? This is how Joshua is getting at him. You understand? Because Joshua understood just like Joseph understood that look, man, we can't have any outsiders coming in our communities. Because when that happens, excuse me, when outsiders come into your community, you go from black metropolises, you go from Black Wall Street, you understand, to living in Marcy projects. You understand? You go from Black Harlem to whatever the hell they named it now. You understand? You go from West Oakland being thriving with black businesses up and down 7th Street to white women walking whatever walking Yorkies in Ghost Town. You understand? You go to West Oakland in some areas, you'll be like, I thought this was the ghetto. I thought this was the hood. Where is the representation of being black in Oakland now? It's damn near gone. You understand? They gentrify Oakland so goddamn much. We just went to camp the other day, last Saturday, you understand? And they are literally having a gay pride, basically a gay pride parade in downtown Oakland, you understand? Full of Caucasian sodomites. You understand? Full of Caucasians, lesbians and homosexuals. You understand? And the reason why, and the cold part about it is, right? It was a brother named Oscar Grant that got killed by the police a couple of years back. Got killed by the BART police on a BART platform. You understand? If you're not familiar with the Bay Area, the BART is the train system. It stands for Bay Area Rapid Transit. You understand? But this brother got murdered. You understand? By a racist BART police officer. You understand? And they renamed the plaza, right? That these sodomites had a homosexual gathering in. They renamed the plaza after the brother Oscar Grant. You understand? Meanwhile, the plaza is named Oscar Grant Plaza, but you got a whole lot of homosexual Caucasians congregating and doing drugs and all type of weirdness. You understand? At this plaza that was named in this brother's memory. You understand? All of this is going on in a city, you understand, that founded the Black Panthers. All of this is going on in a city, you understand, where West Oakland used to be as black as Detroit. You understand? Meanwhile, our so-called religious leaders and these churches, you understand, they reverends preachers and all of these black people that got all this goddamn money in our communities ain't saying a goddamn thing about what's going on. You understand? But Commander General Yana is. The men up under him and the ISUBK are saying everything about us having to deal with you gentrifying our neighborhoods because you're a greedy, filthy sodomite. You understand? But Salakia, I'm gonna read that again. And it came to pass when Joshua was by Jericho, he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there stood a man over against him with his sword drawn in his hand. And Joshua went unto him and said unto him, art thou for us or for our adversaries? Salakia. You understand? Joshua understood, like, look, bro, if you ain't for us, you are against us. If you coming in the name of our adversaries, we are going to be slaves to you. Our women are going to be prostitutes and swinging on stripper poles if you come try to gentrify our neighborhood. You understand? Our brothers are going to become drug dealers and pimps and murderers and killers if you try to come and bring this gentrification or your ideology of integration in our neighborhoods. You understand? This was a real leader. This was a brother that was not taking no BS about you doing harm to his people. You understand? Salakia. Let's go to the book of Judges. Right? Book of Judges, the 6th chapter. This is the book of Judges, chapter 6 and verse 1. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord. And the Lord delivered them into the hand of Midian 7 years. You understand? So this is when our people, you understand, we went against what the Lord wanted. You understand? And in turn, the Lord delivered us into the hands of the Midianites. You understand? And the Midianites are a family of Arabic people. You understand? Right? So we do evil in the sight of the Lord. The Lord puts us in slavery to some goddamn Arabs. You understand? Verse 2. And the hand of Midian prevailed against Israel. And because of the Midianites, the children of Israel made them the dens which are in mountains and caves and strongholds. Right? Verse 3. And so it was when Israel had sown that the Midianites came up, and the Amalekites and the children of the east, even they came up against them. You understand? So when we sown, like when we plant stuff, you understand, and we trying to grow food for our nation. These Midianites came up against us, and the Amalekites came up against us, which the Amalekites are the Jewish man today. You understand? So these nations, they seen us trying to grow food to be able to sustain ourselves, and they came up against us. They begin to come up against us to make war with us because they understand that, look, these people are growing their own food to be able to sustain their own nation. You understand, and strengthen themselves. Now we can't do that. This is what gentrification is today, right? When our oppressors seen that we was thriving in our own communities, you understand, they came up against us. You got Black Wall Street. That's a perfect example of what's going on right here. Black Wall Street. You understand? Our brothers and sisters made a black metropolis. You understand? In Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? And we was thriving in that community. And the oppressor seen that we was thriving in that community, and they had to shut us down. You understand? They murdered our people. They slaughtered us. They decimated our buildings. You understand? Burnt down all our crops. This is what these goddamn heathens is doing right here in the book of Judges, the 6th chapter. You understand? Verse 4. And they encamped against them, and they destroyed the increase of the earth till thou come unto Gaza, and left no sustenance, Salakia, for Israel, neither sheep nor ox nor ass. It's gentrification right here. When your oppressor comes into your neighborhood, he takes all your businesses and decimate them. Then he builds projects for you to live in. If you know the history of Acorn in West Oakland, right? Acorn used to be a community of all houses, and it was nice houses and that's been a black neighborhood. You understand? The majority of black people that are from Oakland, if you really from Oakland, then you got roots in West Oakland, to where, because give you a little bit of history about Oakland. When black people start coming to the West Coast, you understand, to work at these factory jobs, you understand. There was a I believe it was a General Motors plant in Richmond, you understand, or it was somewhere in the Bay Area. Don't quote me. If not Richmond, then it probably was Fremont or something. But there was a General Motors plant in the Bay Area. You understand? A lot of people don't know this, and a lot of black people that moved to the West Coast that lived in Oakland, they could not live in East Oakland. East Oakland was strictly for white people. You understand? This is why you got most of the apartment buildings and the project buildings. Most of them are in West Oakland. You understand? And the reason being because West Oakland was all black at first. You understand? Black people were not allowed to live in East Oakland. So what happened was black people being industrial people. You understand? Us having so many skills. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that we learned from slavery and us just being the salt of the earth. You understand? We was able to come up with so many businesses to where we didn't need our oppressor. So what happened was our oppressor, right, decimated a big portion of the houses that was in West Oakland, and they built these projects called Acorn. You understand? And in turn, what that did, not only did they do that, they built the freeway smack dab in brothers and sisters neighborhood right there on 7th Street, you understand, to where all of the black businesses had to cease from existence because they wanted to put that freeway over there. And this was all by design, you understand? And what happened was black people went from owning homes, right, to from owning homes to having great jobs, you understand, to owning their own businesses. We went from that to Acorn being one of the most notorious housing projects on the West Coast. You understand? We went from that. We went from having good lives from that to our brothers and sisters indulging in the drug trade. You understand? You got movies like The Mac that promoted pimping. You understand? That was shot in Oakland, right? This is what happens when our people, right, integrate with these other nations and they gentrify our neighborhoods. We get the short end of the stick. You understand? But read on, Salakia. I'm gonna read that one more time. And they encamped against them and destroyed the increase of the earth till thou come unto Gaza and left no sustenance for Israel, neither sheep nor ox nor ass. You understand? These goddamn heathens came up against us and they destroyed all our farmland. You understand? They destroyed every place that we can be able to plant food to sustain our nation. You understand? And it says, neither sheep nor ox nor ass. You understand? We didn't have any bulls. You understand? We didn't have any Salakia. No sheep. You understand? Like it says, no sheep nor ox nor ass. You understand? They murdered all our livestock. You understand? Just like your oppressor did when he came to America and he slaughtered the buffaloes because he was killing them for sport. They did this in our land in Israel, right here in the book of Judges in the 6th chapter. You understand? Your oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And the Lord said he does not want us to integrate with them. Integration brings gentrification and it brings poverty on blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. You integrate and your land get gentrified by these other nations, then you go live on reservations. You understand? You live in the worst communities in your city. Your conditions become dire when you accept integration that becomes gentrification. You understand? Salakia, reading on. For they came up against their cattle and their tents, and they came as grasshoppers for multitude. Both they and their camels were without number, and they entered into the land to destroy it. You understand? Not only did they burn up our farmland and kill our livestock, they destroyed our homes. You understand? They knocked down the homes, our houses. This is exactly what I was just saying about what happened in West Oakland. They destroyed our homes and made project buildings for us to live in. So we can live in close quarters on top of each other and be able to fight each other day and night, tooth and nail, because we being oppressed and we don't understand that our enemy is not our brother that lives next door to us. You understand? Keep going, reading on. And Israel was greatly impoverished because of the Midianites, and the children of Israel cried unto the Lord. We was impoverished because of these Midianites. You understand? Just like your slave master today. They did all of this gentrification and integration in our neighborhoods, and in turn, we have no more Black Wall Streets. You don't have a strip of Black-owned businesses in your communities anymore. We buy our shoes from Nike, Reebok, Gucci, Louis Vuitton. You understand? All of these other nations have come and reap the benefits off of our people. You understand? Salakia. Let me get the Book of Maccabees, chapter 1, Salakia, chapter 2 and verse 10. First Maccabees 2 and 10. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 10. What nation have not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils? You understand? What nation has not reaped the benefits off of our communities being gentrified? You understand? You got these oppressors, right? That come with astronomical amounts of money to get you to sell your home that you've been owning for 20, 30, 40, 50, sometimes 60 years, and it's been passed down in the family. You understand? And you've been struggling living paycheck to paycheck, right? And when you struggle living paycheck to paycheck, right? You've been owning this house, sustaining this house. You understand? Fixing on it here and there whenever you can afford to. You know what I'm saying? Put a new fresh coat of paint on it whenever you get the liberty to do it because you've saved up enough money. Then your oppressor comes and tells you that yeah, I want to buy your house for $1 million. You so poor, you understand, you sell out, they come to your neighborhood and all the Black businesses become decimated. You understand? There's no more mom and pop chicken shops in your neighborhood, right? They opening up Whole Foods and Starbucks. You understand? Right? Church's Chicken is a million, probably $1 billion company. You understand? But your grandma cooked chicken better than these goddamn oppressors. You understand? Crispy, crunchy chicken, right? Which is a goddamn phenomenon in the Black community at every goddamn gas station that you go to. You got some goddamn East Indians selling you chicken that tastes like your grandma made it. You understand? Because of gentrification, we suffer and we are spoiled. You understand? So like, I'm gonna read that again. And Israel was greatly impoverished because of the Midianites. You understand? Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are greatly impoverished because of these goddamn heathens coming in our neighborhoods and setting up shop. We are greatly impoverished because of gentrification. Gentrification is evil for Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. You understand? And like I said, your Christian pastor, he ain't saying nothing about it. You understand? He's still holding down that big old mega church, right? He's still holding down Sunday service and all of that type of stuff and getting tithes from your grandma. Meanwhile, the oppressor is trying to buy your grandma's house. You understand? And she gonna sell out because she been in poverty for so goddamn long, right? Then when she sell out, right, Black people be displaced from these goddamn neighborhoods. You understand? And now we got to go live in the suburbs somewhere where the rent is twice as what it was in our own neighborhoods. Not only that, the rent goes up in our neighborhoods that we grow up in. You understand? If you live in Oakland, bro, you're gonna be paying like $2,500 a month, and niggas are going to be selling drugs in front of your goddamn house, right? In front of the apartment building that you live in, which is only probably about 2 bedrooms, you understand, 1.5 bathrooms, you're gonna be paying $2,500 for that a month, and brothers are still going to get murdered on your damn doorstep because of gentrification. You understand? But Salakia, let's go to the book of Ezra, chapter 4. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. You understand? This is the book of Ezra, chapter 4. I'm going to start at verse 1. Now, when the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin heard that the children of the captivity builded the temple unto the Lord, then they came to Zerubbabel and to the chief of the fathers, and said unto them, let us build with you, for we seek your God as ye do, and we do sacrifice unto him since the days of Esarhaddon, king of Assur, which brought us up hither. But Zerubbabel and Jeshua and the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel said unto them, ye have nothing to do with us to build an house unto our God, but we ourselves together will build unto the Lord God of Israel, as King Cyrus, the king of Persia, has commanded us. You understand? Zerubbabel, you understand, and Joshua and the chief fathers, we understood, no, we don't need you heathens coming in our nation, you understand, to build with us and come together with us. They understood Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter. We are a holy people unto the Lord our God, you understand? And the Lord has made us to be separate from the rest of these other nations. You understand? These brothers understood that. These goddamn heathens, right? These heathens come to brothers and be like, man, look, we see y'all building this temple, man. Like we want to serve y'all God too. We've been sacrificing to y'all God, man. Let us come help y'all build the temple. These brothers was like, hell no. Nuh-uh. Y'all can't, nuh-uh. Get up out of here, man. Go on, get up out of here. No, you ain't got nothing to do with us or our God. You are not our people. You are an enemy to our people. We come let y'all build up and help us build this temple and sacrifice unto the Lord our God, then in turn we gonna become y'all slaves. We gonna get the short end of the stick by being in the ghettos while y'all live deliciously on our land if we allow y'all to come help us build this. This is not the integrity that your goddamn Christian pastor has. You understand? This is not the integrity that Creflo Dollar has. This is not the integrity of all of these rich celebrities. They don't have this type of integrity. They get their money and want to move to these goddamn Caucasians neighborhoods. You understand? They get all of this money and buy a big old house right next to Becky and Karen, right? So they can call the police on you. You understand? For you barbecuing and playing your music too goddamn loud, or your son and your daughter want to sell water in front of Whole Foods. You understand? And that new white neighborhood that you went to. You understand? Your Christian pastor don't have this integrity, right? The so-called leaders of the blacks, Latinos, and Native American community, they don't have this integrity. D.L. Hughley don't have this integrity. All these fake woke black Negroes don't have this integrity. Brother Polite does not have this integrity. You understand? He said all of that stuff about a Caucasian coming into Harlem to be able to sell stuff in a black neighborhood. He said all of that stuff. Then he moved to California, and now you find this Negro taking pictures with Kylie Jenner. You understand? You find this Negro taking pictures with all of these goddamn white celebrities because they don't have no integrity. They don't give a damn about blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans getting the short end of the stick when these people integrate into our neighborhoods and we become impoverished. You understand? Salakia. Then the people of the land weakened the hands of the people of Judah and troubled them in building. You understand? So now we tell them like, nah, bro, y'all can't come build with us. That shit is over with. Salaki, excuse my French. That it's over with. You understand? So in turn, these people got mad at us, you understand, and start trying to come up against us and go to war with us while we building our temple. You understand? Salaki. Verse 5, and hired counselors against them to frustrate their purpose all the days of Cyrus, king of Persia, even until the reign of Darius, king of Persia. And in the reign of Osiris, in the beginning of his reign, wrote they unto him an accusation against the inhabitants of Jerusalem, Salaki, of Judah and Jerusalem. You understand? So these heathens, they was hella mad about us not wanting to integrate with them, and now us not wanting them to come build on our land and our temple. You understand? So they basically made war with us. You understand? And some people, you probably ask the question like, well, it probably wouldn't have went as bad if brothers would have just come let us build the temple. Hell no, it would have been even worse. You understand? They would have been running our temples. It wouldn't be no goddamn Levite prince in the temple. It'd be a goddamn Midianite or a fake Jewish man, you understand, pouring oil on niggas' heads, you understand, and sacrificing pigs in our goddamn community. That's what the hell it would have been, you understand? But Salakia, let's get to the book of First Maccabees, right? Gentrification is against the is against the Lord. You understand? Integration is against the Lord, right? And integration and gentrification destroys blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. It destroys our culture. It destroys our history. It destroys our children. You understand? It destroys the mind frame of our people not wanting to come together with these nations into us believing that we should come together with these nations and it's going to benefit us one day. When that's the total opposite of what's going to happen if we integrate with these other nations. You understand? Salakia. Is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, and verse, start at 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. Right? So you got wicked niggas. This is the spirit of Martin Luther King right here in these scriptures. This is the spirit of Reverend Jesse Jackson. This is the spirit of God loves everybody, and we shall all come together and live as the melting pot. You understand? This is the spirit of these wicked Negroes, right? I'm going to read that again. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men. The Lord called them wicked men. You understand? And the reason why he called them wicked men, because he understands that these men only want to come together with these other nations to fulfill their lust that they want to fulfill, right? They only come together. They only want to come together with these other nations because they want to sleep with white women. They only want to come together with these other nations because they want to eat pork. They want to celebrate Christmas. They love shrimp, crab, and lobster, you understand? And they will sell their own goddamn people out to do it. Because if you look out throughout history, when we come together with these other nations, what happened to us? We go into poverty. We go to jail. We go to prison. We number one in all manner of diseases, right? We strung out on drugs. Our sisters and daughters become whores. You understand? We become drug dealers and kingpin drug dealers and get 35 years and life sentences. We murder our own people when we come together with these other nations. White Jesus is the reason why there are gangs in the black community. You understand? Our people understanding or believe in Salakia that Jesus Christ is a white man, you are going to revere white people and hate your own goddamn self. You understand? Salakia. Jump down to verse 29. And after 2 years were fully expired, and after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief of collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with the great multitude. Now we got to pay taxes to these goddamn heathens. Why? Because these wicked niggas persuaded the children of Israel to come together with these goddamn heathens. So we paying taxes, right? We paying taxes to these heathens, right? And spake, Salakia. Read that again. Book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 29. And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude. So this tax collector, he came to the city of Jerusalem, right? With a whole lot of people with him, right? And spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore and destroyed much people of Israel. That's what gentrification is. Gentrification is your oppressor coming to you like, yeah, man, we want to move to this neighborhood. Everything gonna be all right. We're gonna live in perfect harmony. Woo, woo, woo. And then you end up getting murdered by racist police officers. You end up being slaughtered. You understand? You end up being packed in these prison houses. You understand? By the hundreds of thousands because your oppressor has spoken peaceable words unto you, right? But then when you gave him credence, right? When you believed in him, you understand? When you showed him that you can be friendly with him, he starts to slaughter you and make war with you. You understand? Verse 31. And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire and pulled down the houses and all the walls, and walls thereof on every side, right? And when your oppressor comes into your neighborhood, he decimates your neighborhood. You understand? He knocked down your houses. He builds a freeway right over the houses that your people once owned. You understand? Salakia, read that again. And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire and pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side. You understand? Not only does he tear down your community, but he takes everything that has some substance in your community. He destroys your black businesses. They take all the money that you and your people have made, you understand, and put it in their own pockets, right? They stop you from being able to sustain yourself by owning your own businesses and growing your own goddamn fruit. Your oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Niggas can't even collect rainwater that comes from God. You understand? Salakia. Reading on. But the women and children took they captive and possessed the cattle. Understand? The women and children, our women and children are captives to these other nations. Why are they captives to these other nations? Because our brothers are in prison or being murdered by these other nations. You understand? So what in turn, your woman or your sister, she works for the goddamn devil. You understand? She not only does she work for him physically out of slavery, but she's pushing the agenda of you don't need the black man in the house. You understand? Not all sisters, but a lot of our sisters. Look at Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B. You understand? The Bad Girls Club. You understand? The reason why our sisters look towards black men as disgusting or somebody that should be just kicked out of the community altogether is because you are captives to your goddamn oppressor. You understand? If you was not in a slave mentality of being up under your oppressor and adhering to his rules or his way of life, then black, Latino, and Native American sisters would show reverence to their goddamn men. You understand? Salakia. Verse 33. Then builded they the city of David with a great and strong wall and with mighty towers and made it a stronghold for them. You understand? These oppressors have gentrified our communities and started building up Starbucks. You understand? Trader Joe's, right? Whole Foods. All of these places that these goddamn devils like, they're building it in the same lands that are ours. You understand? And this is not new. They doing this right here in the book of First Maccabees and Apocrypha. You understand? It's the same exact story. You understand? Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. You understand? Salakia. Read that again. They the city of David with a great and strong wall and with mighty towers and made it a stronghold for them. The Harlem is a stronghold for Caucasians now. You understand? West Oakland is a stronghold for Caucasians now. You see white women walking them little ugly fluffy dogs. You understand? Poodles and Yorkies up and down Martin Luther King. You understand? In the heart of Ghost Town, you have white people setting up shop. Like not too long ago, I seen a gay pride parade flag in Ghost Town in West Oakland. This is a neighborhood that is historically black. You understand? Just like I just talked about the gay pride situation that they had downtown Oakland in a city that founded the Black Panthers. Come on, man. This is like our neighborhoods have become strongholds for these goddamn heathens. You understand? Salakia. Reading on. Verse 34. And they put therein a sinful nation, wicked men, and fortified themselves therein. You understand? That's gentrification. Another nation coming into your neighborhood to live and thrive. You understand? I'm going to read that one more time. And they put therein a sinful nation, wicked men, and fortified themselves there. And they fortify themselves in our lands. You understand? They sit back and get comfortable. You understand? And thrive in our communities. That's what's going on. This is gentrification right here in the goddamn Bible. You understand? Verse 35. They stored it also with armor and victuals. And when they had gathered together the spoils of Jerusalem, they laid them up there, so they became a sore snare. Your oppressor has taken everything from blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans and put it in museums. You understand? Your oppressor has taken everything from us and hid it in a bank vault somewhere. You understand? They have the Ark of the Covenant in a goddamn bank vault somewhere in the Vatican, you understand? Just looking at it and marveling at it. They have original scrolls that blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans were instrumental in constructing. This Bible, they have taken this for themselves and brainwashed the world into believing that God wants everybody to come together and Jesus died for the whole goddamn planet Earth. Come on, man. This is nonsense. You understand? Salakia. Verse 36. For it was a place to lie in wait against the sanctuary and an evil adversary to Israel. And our own lands that we came up with, not Salakia, not came up with, but our own lands that we used to once live and thrive in, it has become an adversary to us. Look at our northern kingdom brothers, the tribe of Gad. You understand? In this very land where they thrived in, where you've seen thousands of buffaloes here, you understand? Now there is police in their communities that you call a reservation, and they cannot live freely. You understand? Your oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You understand? And everything that blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans have built in this country has been stolen by these goddamn heathens. Right? I'm gonna read that again. For it was a place to lie in wait against the sanctuary and an evil adversary to Israel. America is an evil adversary to the tribe of Gad. You know what I'm saying? To the tribe of Reuben, right? It's an evil adversary, right? Why? Because you got police officers, racist police officers, killing our brothers and sisters, right? In our own communities. And this is supposed to be a place where we live. This is supposed to be our brothers and sisters of the Northern Kingdom homeland. But it's an evil adversary against them. You know why? Because your goddamn Christian pastor, you understand, he shuck and jive for the slave master and want to come together with these goddamn heathens. And in turn, we get murdered by racist police officers. And in turn, our people are being decimated on the street corners that we used to once call home. Now is being plagued by racist police officers, and drug-riddled communities are just going down. You understand? But Salakia, this is exactly what happens when your neighborhood gets gentrified by another nation. You understand? Reading on. Verse 37. Thus they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary and defiled it. You understand? Like your oppressor has shed innocent blood in our neighborhoods. You got Tamir Rice, a little boy, you understand, that get caught playing with a goddamn toy gun because he's a little boy and boys and kids play with toys. Meanwhile, the police pull up and jump out and murder the brother in less than 1 minute. You understand? Murder the brother in less than 1 minute. And this is a little kid. You understand? I'm going to read that again. It says, thus they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary and defiled it. You understand? You got Emmett Till that went to go visit his family and I believe Mississippi somewhere, you understand? And this white woman who eventually came out and said that she was lying, you understand? She accused this young brother of whistling at her, and they beat him to death unrecognizable. You understand? Because your oppressor has shed innocent blood. What happens to our people when we integrate with these people or our neighborhoods become gentrified? Innocent blood gets shed by these goddamn oppressors. Look once again, look at the Northern Kingdom. Your oppressor came over here and slaughtered them, decimated them to the tune of 77 million. You understand? When I was a kid, I didn't like, you know how black people is. They'll say, "Oh yeah, I got some Indian in my blood. We got Indian in our blood," right? But it was always the stigma that the real Native Americans have been slaughtered and they extinct now. And the reason why is because your damn oppressor has murdered so many of them and hid them away on these reservations. You understand that a lot of black people that actually grew up in the hood, we literally thought that Indians were extinct. We really thought that the Native Americans were extinct. You understand? Right? Reading on. Verse 38. Insomuch that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them, whereupon the city was made an habitation of strangers and became strange to those that were born in her, and her own children left her. This is gentrification. This wicked nation coming into our communities, you understand, and building up fortresses for themselves and slaughtering us and murdering us to where we run and get the hell away from these goddamn oppressors. Now it's a whole nation that live in Jerusalem that's not from Jerusalem, and the people that was born in Jerusalem don't even remember Jerusalem. You understand? I'm gonna read that again. Verse 38. And so as much that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them, whereupon the city was made a habitation of strangers and became strange to those that were born in her. You understand? Verse Salakia. Verse 39. Her sanctuary was laid waste like a wilderness. Her feast was turned into mourning, her Sabbaths into reproach, her honor into contempt. You understand? Our culture becomes decimated, you understand, when we come and integrate with these other nations and they gentrify our communities. You don't know that West Oakland used to be an all black city that thrived with black businesses. Black Wall Street is decimated and no longer. You understand? Seneca Village that used to be before Central Park was. That was a thriving black neighborhood, you understand? That brothers was actually getting money over there. But it's decimated now and is no longer because of gentrification. You understand? With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and end it. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat a thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shemal a thumb by Hashem Yahweh Shabbat to the sisters. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share. You understand? And the water to y'all for tuning in, man. And we're gonna keep pushing this truth. With that being said, Shalom, Israel.